There's so many parts of my life that I wish I could automate, like doing laundry or grocery shopping, anything that requires me to stand in a line. We live in an increasingly automated world, but some things still require tedious manual work. Luckily for e-commerce business owners, shipping is no longer a manual task, thanks to ShipStation. Spend more time growing your business when you automate shipping tasks with ShipStation. Go to shipstation.com and use code RESPECT today and sign up for your free 60-day trial. That's shipstation.com, code RESPECT. Get a head start on spring cleaning with Caraway. Their thoughtfully designed sets and complimentary storage makes getting and staying organized easier than ever. Now, I love my Caraway kitchenware. It comes in a variety of chic shades, and all sets include complimentary, easy access storage solutions, which are great for someone like me that has minimal space. So visit carawayhome.com/respectable or use code RESPECTABLE at checkout. Caraway, non-toxic cookware made modern. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and those who don't identify as either, you are listening to Ratchet and Respectable. I have had the best day. I didn't get out of bed until 12 o'clock, which is really unlike me. I'm usually like up at the crack of dawn. And by dawn, I mean like it gets light outside sometimes at 4:30 in London. And so like I wake up with the sun. The windows in my current apartment are weird. They're like shutters, but the ceilings are super high because it's like a duplex loft. I can't close the shutters for the windows at the top. So the light gets in. So I wake up with the light. That's not the point. The point is I had these beautiful blackout curtains. I woke up a couple times, but then I rolled over and refused to get out of bed. One of the reasons, obviously I'm tired. Usually I like to be up early and go out and do as much as I possibly can and really pack my day. I'm trying to learn not to do that because sometimes I leave a vacation and I feel like I need a vacation because I've been running around and doing so much. I'm trying to be more leisurely when I travel. Also, Amsterdam is very San Francisco in terms of weather, if you understand what that means, or very London because it's cold in the morning. And then 12 o'clock to maybe 7 o'clock, it's absolutely beautiful outside. When you're walking around during the day, you could tell the people that left out early because they have on sweaters and leather jackets. And it's 78, 83 today with a gentle breeze. It was the most perfect weather ever. But you can see who left out earlier in the day or didn't layer properly. And then the people who came out after it was warm. So I was like, you know what? Let me just go ahead and sleep because clearly my body needs it and go out in the warmth. I ain't trying to carry a leather jacket around all day if I don't need to. But I went to this really cute restaurant called Secret Garden. It's literally a secret garden. There's a red carpet and a rope to get in. And then it's behind curtains. It's very secretive inside. And then there's the restaurant. And then you go all the way through the restaurant and there's this beautiful garden in the back. It's so, so pretty. It's one of those rare places. I saw it all over Instagram and Pinterest, which is where I do most of my research when I go to new cities. Sometimes the suggestions that you see all over the place, like Pink Mama in Paris, woefully disappointing. That food was not good. That said, the dessert, what did I have? The tiramisu? Some of the best tiramisu. Actually, it might be the best tiramisu I've ever had in my life. That shit was amazing. But the actual pasta, not so great. So I was a little hesitant to go to this spot because it's highly recommended and it's really cute. Sometimes the really cute places aren't always really good, but it was amazing. The food was amazing. The drinks were great. I had a rose. It wasn't a margarita, martini, but it was with vodka, not gin because I can't do gin. I like projectile vomit. I'm allergic to gin. It's gross. It was a rosé martini with rose petals. It was so good. I usually don't have a cocktail or hard liquor at all unless I'm having a margarita or something. And then after that, I went to, I love a good house museum. I like the architecture. I like the history. I like the artifacts. This one in particular, it was the Van Loon Museum. I knew that they had built their wealth off what I read on the website was quote and unquote colonialism. I used to go visit plantations all the time. And I was like, it won't be nothing I ain't really seen before, but let's go check it out just because, I'm into house shit, right? I get there. The museum is doing an exhibition about the Black descendants of the Van Loon family or the Black descendants that worked on the plantations that the Van Loon family owned in South America. I was like, oh, okay, unexpected, but welcome. The exhibition is throughout the whole house. They pushed all the historical furniture to the side and they put up black drapes so you literally cannot see any of the rich white people's shit, except for a couple portraits. Like it's like a peekaboo of like the white people who own the house, like their portrait. And then it would have like pictures of the Black descendants of the family, or again, the descendants of people who had worked on plantations that they owned. So the idea was, it's like people come to this space and they see all this fancy shit and everyone oohs and ahs at like the gold or the gold plated or the size of the rooms or the lamps, the French clocks, the crystal chandeliers, all that shit. But the exhibition is like, nobody ever thinks about the labor, the sacrifices, the violence, the separated families that made all this wealth possible. And so that's what the exhibition focuses on. It was really interesting. And then I went literally across the street to the Foam Museum. It's a photography museum. They have this exhibition by Ernest Cole. He is a South African photographer. He's kind of like South Africa's version of America's Gordon Parks, if you will. I first learned about him when I went to the Apartheid Museum in South Africa, I guess like 2011. He documented the apartheid regime, thousands and thousands of photos, and then, which was illegal to do, by the way. And then in order to publish them, he had to leave South Africa. So he smuggled his photos out of South Africa and got them published. The South African government went apeshit, banned him from returning, blocked his passport. So he was kind of nationless for a while. He had a really difficult life after his book came out. House of Bondage is what the book is called. It's like this epic photo essay. But I remember seeing this picture of a little boy. I don't know if he had a school uniform on. He was at school, but they didn't have desks. He was crouched down trying to learn, and he had sweat dripping down his face. And when I say a little boy, I mean like maybe 5, 6. It's an image that always stayed in my head. He passed away in 1990. He only published that one book. It was mega popular, but he never did a follow-up book. 2000, I think it was 17 or 18, there was a bank in Sweden, I believe, that closed. And he lived in several different places all over the world, like after he got out of South Africa. But this bank was closing and opened a safe deposit box that nobody had claimed. And they found 60,000 images by Ernest Cole. So the exhibition that I went to see today is hundreds of previously unreleased photos that he'd taken, mostly from apartheid. Lots of photos of men working in the mines in completely terrible conditions. They look like photos of intake at jails. People sleeping on the floor, people working their ass off 10-hour days for the equivalent of 45 cents a day, Black nannies with white children, education, anything that was really emblematic of basically how fucked up apartheid was, he captured. And that's what a lot of the photos were. It was really hard to look at. And it was a big exhibition. It was like 2 floors. One thing I will say about Europe, going around to all the museums, either Paris or here, and in London, I've gone to a couple museums. I still haven't posted a single photo from London. I'm so bad for that. But the museums are like super extensive. And I don't mean just the stuff they went and stole from Africa and Asia. Just in general, like when I go to a museum, it's like really extensive. It's not just like, oh, let me give you like, 20 pieces and call it an exhibition. They're like, no. Let me give you like hundreds. Everything I've been to, like the Dior Museum. I went to the Louis Vuitton Foundation when I was in Paris. There was a Basquiat and Warhol exhibition, 400, 500 pieces for the exhibition. I went to an exhibition on fashion at Kensington Palace. It was like fashion, old and new. Basically, they were trying to make a connection between royal dress, royal ball gowns, and red carpets around the world in terms of like over the topness and fancy dress. And another exhibition that was like 300 pieces. One of them, remember when Beyonce was pregnant? She was super pregnant with the twins. I can't remember what award show it was, but she had on all gold and then she had like the pointed crown. It was very like iconic. And she was in the chair and she was singing and then the chair leaned back and everybody was like, oh God, pregnant woman in chair leaning back. But she was fine. They had the outfit. It's tiny. Even though like, I mean, she was like, you know, looked super pregnant because she was super pregnant. But it's tiny. Like she's a tiny person. But those two exhibitions were like extra black. And I was like, in Amsterdam? I was like, is it Black History Month? They technically have one. It's black. They don't call it Black History. They call it something else. They call it Black Appreciation Month. And it's in October. They just randomly have like these two very black exhibits going on literally across the street from each other right now. Apparently Amsterdam is hella black. I haven't been to the black part of town. When I said I was coming to Amsterdam, mad black people reached out to me. It was like, oh, you have to go here. Like, that's the black part. And I was like, there's a black part to Amsterdam? And she was like, we out here. We outside. I was like, black people? Because I be walking around and it's just me. It might be one, maybe two, not at the same time. It's usually just me. I've only really eaten in 2 restaurants. It's just me. Hotel, just me. They real sweet though. They be jumping all over themselves to make sure I feel good. Miss Lucas. I was like, how does the whole staff know my name? East America, especially. Are y'all okay? Can y'all breathe? I've been seeing the pictures coming out of New York. I guess it's not just New York, it's the whole East Coast. But I've been seeing mostly pictures of New York because most of my friends are there. So that's why I'm watching posts. It looks like the end of Earth outside. Y'all need to wear masks and not just like our COVID mask. Y'all need some special kind of breathing situation to go outside. Close your windows. None of that shit can be good for your lungs. No matter what they're telling you. It's safe. No, it's not. You can look at it and tell it ain't. Don't listen to them. Y'all look crazy right now. Y'all also look crazy because of that shooting. Which one? It's America. Both of them. The one at the high school graduation, which I was like, niggas, it's a graduation. Y'all shot up the graduation? And then that white lady, she crazy as shit. The one who shot, I think before I said it was a mother of 2 in Florida. She's actually a mother of 4, which makes the story even more tragic. And again, it would be a terrible story if she was a mother of none and she just was shot and killed. I have to keep emphasizing this because sometimes we don't find the value in black women unless they're associated to someone, a husband or children. A black woman being killed for any reason is tragic just because she's a black woman that got killed. It becomes additionally tragic because there are so many other people impacted. But it's still a tragedy on its own, even if she's not connected to a man or to children. Her life has value, even if she don't have a husband or kids. We'll talk about that in a minute. Because the lady who shot her, killed her, murdered her, the old white lady, crazy as fuck. The Daily Beast has a really great story. I'm going to read it in a minute. I want to talk about our foolishness first. Khalees and Bill Murray. Every major black site is reporting it right now. I've seen it on The Shade Room, YBF, Hollywood Unlocked. I saw it somewhere else even before I saw it all those places. Oh, B. Scott. That's where I saw it first. I was like, Khalees and Bill Murray? Like Groundhog Day Bill Murray. Like Ghostbusters Bill Murray. Old ass Bill Murray. He's in his 70s. He white. So he looked like every bit of his 70s plus 10 years. Khalees is in her 40s. She looks fresh and vibrant because she's a black woman and she's in her 40s. Like she looks great. Not on my bingo card. Also not confirmed. The picture that everyone keeps using of Bill Murray and Khalees is like proof that they're dating. It's like another person in the picture. It's like 3 people took a picture. I was like, were y'all at an event together? As in y'all all attended the event at the same time and took a picture? It's not giving me relationship warm fuzzy vibes. I think that was a little far-fetched, but you know, her husband died. And is it really bad? I mean, it's not the end of the world. Like, we might not find Bill Murray particularly attractive. Maybe they have like, you know, some sort of like connection. There's some shit I really just... We go through this every time when there's a story that becomes like really, really big and people are like really, really like scandalized by it. And I was like, what's the scandal? Is everybody of age? Yes. Is everyone consenting? Yes. There's so many parts of my life that I wish I could automate, like doing laundry or grocery shopping, anything that requires me to stand in a line. We live in an increasingly automated world, but some things still require tedious manual work. Luckily for e-commerce business owners, shipping is no longer a manual task, thanks to ShipStation. Save time automating your shipping and returns in the ShipStation dashboard while keeping costs down with industry-leading discounts. It's so easy, almost intuitive to use ShipStation. I figured it out with little to no effort, and I was able to get my podcast merchandise business booming. ShipStation makes it easy to automate shipping tasks for orders from every marketplace in one dashboard. There's effortless integration everywhere you sell online, including Amazon, Etsy, eBay, or Squarespace, like me. Use your one simple dashboard to print shipping labels, easily compare rates and delivery times to optimize every shipment, and automate delivery notifications. And with enterprise solutions that make warehouse optimization easy, ShipStation scales when you do. I love how easy ShipStation makes shipping, so I can spend more time either building my business or just taking a nap. Spend more time growing your business when you automate shipping tasks with ShipStation. Go to ShipStation.com and use code RESPECT today and sign up for your free 60-day trial. That's ShipStation.com, code RESPECT. The last time I was in a writer's room, I pitched an idea for an episode and it was really well received. And this is my first time in a writer's room. One of the ways that I was able to be so confident and also to know what I'm doing is because I learned from the best. I learned the basics of TV writing watching Aaron Sorkin and Shonda Rhimes on Masterclass. With Masterclass, you can learn from the best to become your best anytime, anywhere, and at your own pace. Annual memberships start at $10 a month, and you get unlimited access to every instructor, thousands of online lessons, exclusive content, insights, and much more. There are over 180 classes to pick from, everything from how to do your hair to how to hit a tennis ball, with new classes added every month. Some exciting instructors include Gordon Ramsay, Malcolm Gladwell, Steve Martin, Naomi Campbell, Mariah Carey, and many more. Those Shonda Rhimes and Aaron Sorkin classes, 2 different classes, not them together, taught me so much about writing, from how to make an outline, to how to develop a character, to how to pace dialogue. Find practical takeaways that you can apply to your life and at work. Whether you want to become a better chef, advance your career, land a book deal, or anything else, Masterclass has you covered. Gain new skills in as little as 10 minutes, either on your phone, computer, tablet, smart TV, and even audio mode to listen on the go. I love listening when I'm on my daily morning walk. How much would it cost to take one-on-one classes from the world's best? Well, with a Masterclass annual membership, it would only cost you $10 a month. Get unlimited access to every class. And right now, as a Ratchet and Respectable listener, you can get 15% off when you go to masterclass.com/ratchet. That's masterclass.com/ratchet for 15% off an annual membership. Masterclass.com/ratchet. With the economy being so unpredictable, it's more important than ever to save money and cut back on expenses. For example, I used to spend over $100 a month on streaming services, Netflix, Disney Plus, Prime, you name it. But since I started using ExpressVPN, I've been able to cut back and save so much money every month. Let me explain. See, all these streaming services like Netflix actually have thousands of more shows than you think. You just don't see them all because they give you different shows depending on your country. So what you see on Netflix here is completely different to what someone in Italy or South Korea sees. By using the ExpressVPN app, I can change my online location. ExpressVPN has over 90 countries to choose from. So every time I run out of stuff to watch, I just switch to another country to unlock new shows. Right now, I'm still watching all my favorite South African shows, even though I'm in London. I just tap one button to change my country from the UK to South Africa, refresh the page, and it shows up. I don't need to pay extra for Apple TV or Prime just to watch it. And on top of that, I can even use ExpressVPN to get discounts. Some services cost less in other countries. For example, if you buy Netflix from Argentina, it costs a fraction of the price. At less than $7 a month, ExpressVPN pays for itself and so much more. It's a no-brainer. So if you want to get way more shows and save money while you're at it, go to expressvpn.com/ratchet. Don't forget to use my link so you can get 3 extra months free. That's expressvpn.com/ratchet. expressvpn.com/ratchet to learn more. Good money habits start with your very first paycheck. And if you just scored your first job, you've got an opportunity to jumpstart a healthy financial journey. When you sign up for Chime and link a qualifying direct deposit, you get access to benefits like getting paid up to 2 days early and fee-free overdraft up to $200. I love how easy Chime makes it for their customers to access their money. So sign up for Chime checking account today to link your paycheck. It only takes 2 minutes and doesn't affect your credit score. Get started at chime.com/ratchet. That's chime.com/ratchet. Chime is a financial technology company, not a bank. Banking services and debit card provided by the Bancorp Bank North America or Stride Bank North America. Members FDIC. Early access to direct deposit funds depends on payer. SpotMe eligibility requirements and overdraft limits apply. See chime.com/spotme. Get a head start on spring cleaning with Caraway. Their thoughtfully designed sets and complimentary storage makes getting and staying organized easier than ever. Now, I love my Caraway kitchenware. It comes in a variety of chic shades, and all sets include complimentary, easy access storage solutions, which are great for someone like me that has minimal space. But more important than how it looks, Caraway kitchenware makes for easy cooking. That's the important part. The naturally slick ceramic surface means minimal oil or butter for slide off the pan eggs, and my favorite part, easy cleaning. Caraway products are also made without any toxic material like PFAs, PTFE, PFOA, or other hard to pronounce chemicals. And I'm not the only person that loves Caraway products. Over 40,000 people have raved about their Caraway kitchen. Now it's time to try it for yourself. Visit carawayhome.com/respectable to take advantage of this limited time offer for 10% off your next purchase. This deal is exclusive for our listeners, so visit carawayhome.com/respectable or use code respectable at checkout. Caraway, non-toxic cookware made modern. So what's the story? Oh, okay. Oh, Tiny Desk. I haven't seen. There's a new Tiny Desk. Actually, 2 new Tiny Desks that I haven't seen. There's one with Babyface that I think came out earlier today, or at least this week. It's Babyface with Tank, Shantae Moore, and Avery Wilson singing backup. All your backup singers have huge hits. But I haven't watched it yet. I saw snippets. I want to say that was on the Shade Room too. And then last week's Tiny Desk, it was 50 million people on that stage. I was like, you ain't need all them people. He had like 6, 7, 8 backup singers. Charlie Wilson looked great. Sounded amazing. Only saw snippets. It's Charlie Wilson. I feel comfortable saying it was a solid performance even without seeing the whole performance. But I need to go watch both of those. It's not going to be as good as Usher. You know how I feel about Usher. We're going to do this every episode until Paris. I'm going to sneak Usher's name in. Just watch. Actually, Babyface might be as good as Usher. Actually, Charlie Wilson might be as good as Usher, too. I said it and then realized I was like, yeah, you talking big shit right now. Usher's on par. Let me correct myself before people write in and be like, Demetria, no. How much did you drink at lunch? No. Oh, no, we need to talk about your indicted president. He's indicted a second time and is somehow still running for office. I say all the time, I was like, you know what? I need more confidence, or I need to give less fucks. I thought I didn't really give that many, but apparently I have a few left. People just have levels of audacity that I would be embarrassed after being impeached twice. I would be embarrassed to lose a civil suit and have to pay a woman who said I attacked her in a Barney's dressing room. I would just be like, yo, like my shit is on Front Street. Like I'm looking crazy out here. I need to do something different with my life. Your president. I guess he's my president. I don't live in the country, but I am still an American. But he's been indicted a second time. I saw the story circulating earlier today, and I was like, oh, did something move forward with the indictment? Because everyone's talking about, he's indicted. And I was like, wait, he's indicted again? Again? Make him come indict me. I gotta stop listening to Rick Ross. So this is Trump's second indictment. Mr. Trump, 76. I'm like, sir, you still carrying on with this bullshit at 76? You not tired? Bill Murray would be tired of this shit. Mr. Trump, 76. I'm reading this on BBC.com. Faces 7 counts, including mishandling classified documents and obstructing efforts to investigate the storage of the files at his Florida home. Both are federal crimes which can carry a prison sentence on conviction. Legal experts say the indictment does not prevent him running for president again. Evidently, because the first indictment didn't stop him. BBC notes that this is the second time Mr. Trump has been charged with a crime, but now he is facing a federal case. He is the first former president ever to be criminally prosecuted by the government he once headed. Trump responded to news of the indictment. He said, quote, I never thought it possible that such a thing could happen to a former president of the United States. He added, this is indeed a dark day for the United States of America. We are a country in serious and rapid decline, but together we will make America great again. I know this question has been asked 50 million times, but every time I hear make America great again, I'm like, the again. Can you give me the years that it was great? Was there a century of greatness? Was there a decade of particular greatness? Was there 1 year in particular where America was great? I would just like to know exactly what years they're referring to. ABC News has a quick analysis. They say second Trump indictment could change the 2024 GOP race for the White House or not. What? This article begins, there was a time when a former president facing a single criminal indictment was inconceivable, but now Trump is facing a second indictment, this time on federal charges. It's a turn of events that could shake up the Republican primary field as Trump makes a third run for the White House. It ain't gonna change shit. He was indicted when he did that CNN town hall, no? Not only was he indicted, it was the day after he was found liable for $5 million in the civil case for the woman we just talked about, E. Jean Carroll. Like literally it was the day after, and CNN put him on the air and a whole audience of Trump supporters cheered. He made a dig at the woman who just won the civil suit against him. Like he was comfortable. He was chilling. His audience, his base, they don't fucking care. At the point folks didn't care about grabbing by the pussy and, save yourself from COVID, inject yourself with bleach. They don't care. He's a white man who's campaigning to make America great again. Translation, when we could suppress the blacks, the women's, anyone else with melanin, and the homosexuals. When white people, particularly white men, were the center of the universe. Which I'm like, are they not still now? That's all white people, white men and women. Half of them, because they voted for him. That's all they care about. He's pro-whiteness and they white. That's it. Unless his ass gets arrested, that's the only way to keep him from running. You want to talk about CNN? No, let's talk about the crazy white lady. She's like batshit crazy. We've all heard this story, right? White woman in Florida. Why it always got to be Florida? Not always, but often. Why so often is it Florida? They doing different things down there. But white Florida woman accused of killing black mother in front of her children. So the white woman who stole an iPad from some children and then took it in her house. And then the mother of those children went to her house to be like, give me my shit. And she shot the lady through the door and killed her in front of her child. Last episode we spoke, she hadn't been arrested yet. She has currently been arrested. The woman, Susan Louise Lorinczi, she was arrested on charges of manslaughter with a firearm, culpable negligence, battery, and 2 counts of assault. She was taken into custody Tuesday night. Now, I think if I read correctly before, they went and got the lady and she told them her version of events. Like, yeah, I shot this black lady through the door and she's dead. And then they were like, well, all right, you can go home. Which, huh? It wasn't until the story started getting bigger and started making the rounds on social media and national news media that they were like, oh, let's go get her and arrest her. The Daily Beast was able to procure the arrest affidavit. She told the police initially that she was acting out of self-defense. She said she purchased the gun after a previous run-in with the mother of four, Ajike, Ajike Owens. Is she Nigerian? That name is giving me Nigerian. She told officers during an interview on Saturday, so this is before the arrest, because she got arrested on Tuesday. She told the police officers during an interview on Saturday, they let her go home after she said this dumb shit. They said she'd been having issues with Owen's sons for 2 years due to their lack of respect for her peace and privacy. She said the kids were always playing in an area outside of her apartment. The landlord for the building was like, yeah, because that's a common area and kids play there in the common area. So, okay. She said when she told the children they were trespassing, which they weren't, she says the children said they would kill her. The night of the incident, it was Friday, she said she complained about the 2 kids playing in the grass, and she admits she took an iPad belonging to the kids. The children tried to retrieve the iPad that this crazy lady took from them. Her version of events, she threw a set of skates at one of the children and she swung an umbrella at both of them when they tried to get the iPad back. Again, this is the Daily Beast. The kids left to go get their mother. Mama, of course, is like, nigga, what? She goes and bangs on the woman's door. The woman, the crazy white lady, she says the mom yelled at her through the door, "You don't talk to my sons. I'm going to fucking kill you." Now, the police has spoken to neighbors. They were like, nah, that never happened. No one heard it. Only this woman says she heard it. The crazy white lady also says that the black mom was trying to break into her apartment, quote, as hard as she could by beating down the door. But she also, crazy lady, says that the mom never actually tried the door handle. Nigga. Crazy lady said she went to her bedroom to retrieve her Remington 380, which she says she purchased a year before to protect herself from the black mom. She said she panicked after grabbing the gun and shot 1 round through the front door. She said she was fearful of her life and was thinking, go away, get out of this situation, just go away already. She said she felt that she was in mortal danger. Look, why people stay with this? I was so afraid. I was so afraid. I was so afraid. You pissed this black woman off by taking this iPad from her kids. No doubt she came across the hall ready for war. But the idea that this black woman is going to literally beat down your door, if you that scared of the woman, why are you fucking with her kids? That's the weird part of all of these stories. It's like, I was so scared. I was so scared. Then why the fuck did you confront people? Why did you antagonize these people that you think are so scary and so mean and have this superhuman strength? You think this woman is so strong that she's capable of banging down your front door, your dead-bolted front door at that. Why in the devil's name would you swing a set of skates at her kid and attack them both with an umbrella? You as an adult to children. Why would you take a very expensive electronic device from the children of this woman that you think is just this big black brute chick who can bang down a door? Why don't you just leave her kids the fuck alone? They're in the common area. Kids play outside. It's what they do. It's Florida in June. It's hot. It said police conducted a second interview with the woman on Tuesday after speaking to neighbors and witnesses. The neighbors and witnesses were like, this lady been on one. They described the woman as an antagonist who frequently harassed kids in the area, called them racial slurs, and called in false police reports about them. The woman admits that she's used the N-word toward children out of anger in the past and has also called children other derogatory terms. They said the police confronted the woman about the inconsistencies in her story. She did admit that in previous run-ins with the woman that the mother had never made any threats of violence, which contradicted what she said in the first interview. She also admitted to researching stand your ground laws and self-defense both prior to the shooting and on the day of her arrest. A search warrant of her cell phone showed that she recorded kids playing outside on the night of the shooting. Also, she refused to cooperate when officers told her she was under arrest, suddenly claiming she was experiencing chest pains and attempting to fall to the ground. What is it with white women in this shit? They must be taught this. That's not just some shit that like a normal person comes up with in their head. Either try to cry or like try to die. And maybe people will feel bad for you. Oh, and so this part of the article, we're at the end, it breaks down the charges. Manslaughter with a firearm because she killed the mom. Charges of culpable negligence for discharging her firearm through the door, thereby exposing Owen's 10-year-old child to personal injury. Simple battery for throwing a roller skate at a child. Who the fuck throws a roller skate at a kid? You can really fuck a kid up. Roller skates are heavy. And 2 counts of simple assault for swinging an umbrella at 2 children. Is this the most recent information? It says she's still being held in jail. I read she was out on bail. This article said that her landlord said he was evicting her, so she had no place to go, so she's sitting up in the jail. Womp womp. This is such a terrible story. My heart absolutely breaks for the children, the 4 children, obviously. This is just horrible and stupid, and I don't know, the 50 millionth example of why America needs to do better with its gun laws. Florida and this stand your ground shit is just, it's giving license to people just to like kill willy-nilly. There have been a rash of these kind of incidents where, remember the one, there was a young boy, he went to pick up his little brothers, he rang the doorbell at the wrong house, and the guy just shot him. By God's grace, the child survived. And last I read was like on the road to recovery, they were like, yeah, he'll be fine. I'm like, wait, what? After you got shot in the head? That's God looking out. I hope he knows it. God's got big plans for his life, evidently. I ain't bring you this far to drop you off here. I feel bad for them kids. Especially the 10-year-old. I read a story in the New York Times that the 10-year-old is just racked with grief because he ran home as he was supposed to and told his mom, like crazy lady next door, took the iPad and mom did what she was supposed to do, which is protect and cover her child and go get her iPad. And the lady shot her through the damn door. Last but not least, the head of CNN, aka the mofo who fired Don Lemon, just got fired. I don't know how I missed this, because this is the type of stuff that I like live for. There was an article in the Atlantic last week. It's been described as embarrassing, humiliating. There was another word that kept coming up. Oh, devastating. I just found my other list of notes. The journalist had been interviewing him over a series of months. He made a classic mistake. Not the journalist, Chris Litt, who's been in journalism and TV like for 20 some odd years. I'm like, you doing rookie type shit. But he made in his head a friend out of the journalist and got comfortable and too free in his conversation. And the journalist is still a journalist. But even the reporter was like, it started to seem like he was blurring the lines. He thought we were friends. And our meetings started to sound like therapy sessions. Like he was just telling me all this stuff. And the guy did what he's supposed to do. Like when you interview somebody as a journalist, your role as a journalist is you get access to someone that is of public interest. And you ask the questions that your audience and your editor want to know. You are the representative of the people. Your audience is your boss. So you could interview someone and you could actually start to like them. You could actually start to identify with them. You might share similar points of view. But when the story comes out, the goal is to tell the story that you were told, to tell what you found when you were sent forth to go represent the people. I've read the article that people are saying got him fired. It's bad. It's not the end of earth bad I expected it to be, although it was bad enough to get him fired. I think he was on his way out after CNN did that disastrous town hall, and everyone except Trump and his hardcore supporters were like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Who thought this was a good idea? Apparently, he's not very much of a people person. He's a bad manager. They said he would go to events and he would spend all his time looking at his phone. They said he came to work at CNN, and there's like obviously the newsroom where everybody is. He went and took an office on the 22nd floor, like as far as possible as he could be away from the action. And they were like, do you not even like us? He don't have like basic people skills. The writer said, Licht had hoped that the Trump Hall would make believers out of his critics. Instead, it turned his few remaining believers into critics. I had never witnessed a lower tide of confidence inside any company than in the week following the town hall at CNN. Some staffers held off-site meetings openly discussing the merits of quitting en masse. Many began reaching out to rival media organizations about job openings. More than a few called Jeff Zucker, that's his name, Jeff Zucker, their former boss, desperate for his counsel. As we sipped our coffee, Licht tried to sound unflappable. He said, quote, I don't need people to be loyal to Chris Licht. I need people to be loyal to CNN. Well, they definitely ain't loyal to your ass. You got fired a week after this article came out. On the day his firing was announced, Don Lemon posted a picture. I think it was in his stories. I believe Don was on a boat. Since leaving CNN, has it been a month? It's been a little over a month. Don looked great. I know that shouldn't be the focus, but he did. Don has lost weight. Don's letting his beard grow out a little bit. He looks healthy, like he's been drinking water, eating vegetables, maybe going vegan a few days a week. Not too much sugar, not too much dairy. He looks healthy. He looks relaxed. He looks good. He looks real good. He didn't say shit. He just posted a picture of himself living his best life. I saw folks speculating. They said, well, you think Don will come back to CNN? I would love to see Don back at CNN. I don't think that'll happen, though. Oh, Chris Licht, he only worked at CNN for 13 months. That's some real grand opening, grand closing. Oh, that Atlantic piece was 15,000 words? That explains so much because it took me like an hour to read it, and I usually read really fast. It portrayed Licht as a thin-skinned executive who refused to engage his employees while harboring jealousy over staffers longing for his predecessor, Jeff Zucker. Oh, dear. A source told Radar Online that Don Lemon has, quote, been laughing at Chris. I mean, you fire me after, what did Don say? Was it 14 years at the network? 17 years at the network? And they didn't even tell him. They told his agent. I'd laugh at your ass too. I'm petty that way. Maybe that's why I have sympathy for Don. Don is my problematic fave. I'm problematic on occasion. I understand. Sometimes we don't mean no harm. Sometimes we do. All right. That's the episode. I'm out. Talk Tuesday. I think I'll still be in Amsterdam. All right.